So, did you ever want to create an anime-like cel-shaded render in one of your 3D game or other 3D project? Well, today I'm gonna show you how you can create that kind of visual in Blender 5, Godot 4 and Unity 6. Just before we dive in, let's have a look at what it is we're trying to make here. A typical cel-shaded look is what you'd see in Zelda Breath of the Wild, for example. Instead of having a continuous gradient for lit and shaded zones, there are one or more steps in your shadows, and so there's a clear-cut, discrete delimitation between the lit and shaded parts of your models. You can optionally add outlines and other toon-specific effects, but this won't be our focus today. Okay, now here are the timecodes for how to create cel-shaded visuals in Blender, Godot and Unity if you want to skip to a tool in particular. And with all that said, let's go! Let's say we've imported our 3D model in Blender, then if we select the meshes it contains, we can see the default material that is packed with the geometry in the model file, and we can open the shader editor in our layout to check out how exactly this material works. And we see that it's a basic principled BSDF that uses an image as texture for its base albedo color, so this creates the default visual we see here that is basically a diffuse shader with a little bit of specular. To transform this into a toon cel-shaded material, there are two different workflows depending on the render engine you're using. For the EEVEE Blender render engine, the one selected by default, we first need to go after our principled BSDF and add a shader to RGB node. As is, this doesn't change anything, but this will allow us to post-process our colors. So for example, if we add a color ramp node and change its interpolation mode to constant, then we can move our handles a bit, and we see that we're starting to get the famous shadow step that we talked about before. If we zoom in and we create an intermediary point in our color ramp with a grey color, we can even add a new step to customize our toon effect further. Okay, this is great, but of course right now it's just black and white. We're completely ignoring our initial albedo texture. So how can we get back the colors inside this texture? We can actually pre-visualize those colors by outputting the image texture result directly in our material and completely bypassing the lighting computation, so these are the colors that we want to mix with our previously computed stepped shadows. To do this, we actually just need one more node, a mix color node. If we connect our stepped shadows and our texture color as inputs, we see that we can blend between the two by changing the factor property. But of course, the real trick here is to change the mix mode of a node to multiply. Then with a factor of 1, we're basically applying our shadows on top of our initial albedo texture, and we're therefore almost getting the toon effect that we want. But there is one little fix remaining, and that's to disconnect the albedo texture from the base color socket of our principled BSDF. Indeed, right now, those colors impact the lighting of our model, and then they're reapplied a second time on top of that. What we want is to rather have a blank model for the lighting computation, and only then mix the colors on top. Of course, this means that we'll have to readjust our color ramp stops a bit, but now we've got a nice, easy-to-control cel-shading material for our model in the EEVEE render engine. If you're using the Cycles engine, then you'll notice that the shader to RGB node isn't available anymore. Instead, you'll have to replace the principled BSDF with the built-in toon BSDF and play with its options to customize the effect, like the overall diffuse versus glossy mode, the size that determines how much shadows there are on your model, or the smoothness that blends the shadows more or less with the rest of the lit zones. But in any case, here you go! You can now create a basic anime-like cel-shaded material in Blender. Okay, let's say we've imported our 3D model in Godot and we've added it to our 3D scene hierarchy. First off, to be able to access and modify the materials on our various meshes, let's right-click on our model instance to toggle on its Editable Children option. This way we can select the objects in our model's hierarchy that are imported as mesh instance 3D nodes. Those are the meshes inside our model file, and we see that they have a default diffuse material that was packed with the geometry, so this is the material that we'll want to replace. Now, in Godot there is a quick and easy way to create a kind of toon shader, although it's not exactly the cel-shaded look we discussed before. Still, let's quickly see how to do that. So first, let's replace the default model material with a standard material 3D resource. For that, we'll select all the meshes except for the eyes that use a different material. We'll go to the inspector panel, and in the surface material override section, we'll create a new standard material 3D. Then we'll reassign the model albedo texture to the albedo texture slot to get the proper colors, and you see we've recreated a similar visual to the default diffuse material the model was imported with. However, we can now go to our new standard material 3D's shading section and switch both the diffuse and specular mode to toon. Okay, now let's be honest, this toon shader is way more subtle than the anime style of Breath of the Wild, for example. If we toggle between the original diffuse material and this one, we do see a difference, but it's not really what we're aiming for. So now let's see how we can create a real cel shading visual thanks to a custom shader. First off, we'll reselect every mesh but the eyes and recreate a new override material that, this time, is a shader material. This way, in the inspector of the material, we can create a new related custom shader that will allow us to really customize the lighting of our model to our liking. Oh, and note that here I'll mark the shader as built-in to save it along the scene instead of saving it as a separate resource in the project, but of course you can save it as a .trs file if you prefer. Okay, now to begin with, we'll simply export a texture property and sample it in the fragment function to reapply the proper colors to our model. You see that in the materials inspector, I assigned the model's albedo texture, like we did previously in our standard material 3D, and so once again, I've basically recreated a diffuse material. But the whole point is that now we can easily extend our custom shader script to also override the light function and compute a custom toon lighting. So at the top, we'll have a second texture input that will be our toon lighting gradient. In other words, this will be a one-dimensional texture with black and white levels to define the discrete shadow steps of our material. Then in the light function, we do 4 things. 1, we do a dot product between the model's point normal and the light direction to get a basic diffuse lighting. This will give us a value between -1 and +1. 2, we add in the shadows with the attenuation built in, and we make sure that this stays in the 0-1 range. 3, we sample our gradient at the position of this lighting value. In other words, after computing this simple diffuse lighting with the shadows, a point in complete obscurity will be transformed into the color at the far left of the toon gradient, and a point in full brightness will be transformed into the color at the far right of the toon gradient. And all the other intermediary lighting values will get the intermediary values in the gradient. The fourth and final step is to add this new toon lighting computation to the rest to handle multiple lights, and we also multiply by the current light color to be able to tint our model if we change our light's color. Now, right now, with this new custom lighting, you see that our model is very bright. It's actually flat shaded because we haven't defined our toon gradient yet. But if we go to our materials inspector, click on the gradient property slot and create a gradient texture 1D resource inside, you see that we instantly get back some shadows. Of course, with this default continuous gradient from black to white, we again get a diffuse material. But all that's left to do is to change the interpolation mode of our gradient texture 1D to constant and play around with the stops of our gradient to get our cel-shaded visual. You can even add another point with a grey color in the middle to add a new discrete step to your toon shadows. So here you go. You now know how to create a basic anime-like cel-shaded material in Godot. Let's say we've imported our 3D model in Unity and we've added it to our 3D scene hierarchy. If we open up the model instances tree, we can then select the objects in our model's hierarchy that are meshes. Those are the objects that currently use the default diffuse material packed in the model file, and that we'll want to assign our own cel-shaded material to. But first, we need to create our custom toon shader that our custom toon material will use. Here we'll make a shader graph, so let's go to the Assets panel, right-click, create a new shader graph, and make it a lit shader graph. Then we'll right-click on this shader graph asset and create a new material from it, and finally we'll select all our model's meshes except for the eyes, since those use a different material, and we'll drag our new material to their first material slot. Okay, so right now it's a simple grey diffuse render, but to get our cel-shaded look, we can use a graph like this one. So let's see in details how it works. First, in our shader's exported variables, we have a tech property of texture to the type. This is where we'll reference our model's albedo texture to get back the proper colors on our object. It's sampled over here in the graph before getting mixed with the rest of our lighting computation to get our final base color output. The lighting computation is the main chunk of the shader, it's this whole set of nodes, and the idea to get our cel shading is the following. To begin with, we do a dot product between the model's point normal and the light direction to get a basic diffuse lighting. This will give us a value between -1 and +1. However, to get the right light direction vector, here I'm relying on some really cool subgraphs and additional helpers made by cel-shading and available for free on GitHub in his custom lighting repo. It contains a bunch of utilities to get info about the main or additional lights, and the shadows, the fog, and more. In our case, this makes it really easy to compute our own lighting, and so for now, at this stage, this is a continuous diffuse lighting. So then the next step is to discretize this diffuse lighting to get our toon shadow steps, as we saw before. For that, we'll use a one-dimensional gradient with black and white levels and a fixed interpolation mode. We can adjust our handles to get more or less shadows, and by having a middle point with a gray value, we can get a two-step cel-shaded shadow system, but of course you could add even more if you want. Also, since sampling this gradient requires our sample points to be normalized, we use the inverse slurp node to remap our dot product result from the -1 +1 range to the 0-1 range. For the shadows, we're mainly chaining tools from cel-shadeing's GitHub. This allows us to get the shadows created by our main lights on our model, which we can then mix with our stepped lighting thanks to this multiplication, and the saturate node is just here to ensure the result is normalized, and this is truly a valid lighting value. Then this multiplication reapplies the light color to our material so that the model is properly tinted if our main light isn't white. Then, as we said before, the last multiplication is where we actually combine this toon lighting computation with our albedo texture's sampled colors. Also, you'll notice that I set the smoothness of the material to 0 to avoid having to deal with speculars and glossy stuff. Alright, so if we save this graph and we go back to our 3D view, we see that our model now indeed has a simple cel-shaded look with discretized shadows and a basic but cool anime style. That being said, it's super important to note that this shader is very simple, and it actually doesn't work for more than one light, or support speculars, or handle ambient lighting or fog. So if you want to get a way more complete toon shader, then once again, just look at cel-shading's repo and open up the examples folder. Here we've got a pre-made toon shader graph with a lot more options. You see it contains quite a few more nodes than our version. I won't explain it in detail and I'll let you have a look by yourself, but overall it's a very similar system, just applied to all lights in the scene, so the main light and the additional lights, plus some extra computations for the discretization of the speculars too, or other subtle lighting contributions. If you want to use this material instead, just drag it on your model, assign an albedo texture if there is one, and reset the tint to white. And there you go. Finally, to wrap this up, I do want to mention that since Unity has a huge ecosystem, there is actually a ready-made package for toon shading available from the package manager. To install it, copy this reference, go back to Unity, open up the package manager window, click the plus icon in the top left corner, and pick the install package from Git URL option, then just pass the package reference and validate to install the package in your project. Once it's ready, we can create a new material in our project and assign it to our model's meshes, except the eyes once again, and then we'll just change the material's base shader to use the toon one we imported via the package. We see that there is a big number of options, but for example, we can quickly reassign our albedo texture, set the main shadow color, add a second shadow step that we mix with our original colors, and then play with these options to set how much shadows there should be or how smooth they should be. Then we can even go further and add bright highlights, a rim light effect similar to a Fresnel effect, or even an outline. But in any case, there you go. You now know several ways of creating a cel-shaded look in Unity, and also in Blender and in Godot. So, what do you think? Do you like this kind of cross-tools tutorial? Would you like me to talk about more shaders, or perhaps game mechanics done in both Godot and Unity? Be sure to react and tell me about it in the comments, and subscribe to the channel to get more videos. And of course, a huge thank you to my Patreon members for the support, and to you for watching. And as always, take care.